video is going to be on probably one of the lesser exciting vehicles in my shop, but it's my daily driver, and I mean, comfort is exciting, and this car's got all kinds of comfort. So this is my 2005 Lincoln Town Car that I just picked up. You guys follow the channel and remember my normal daily driver for the last couple of years has been a 2005 Ford 500. Got it from my grandma, very low miles. It only has like 40,000 miles on it right now, and it's been a great car. But my son was driving the 2003 Buick Regal GS, which is a great car, but he had a few problems, a few issues with it, and it just got to the point where I figured, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and give him my car. I ended up getting rid of the Regal to Eddie. Eddie now has it because he needed a vehicle, and so now my son's got the 500. It's cheaper on gas. It's cheaper to fill up because the Regal needed premium, and the 500 only needs the regular unleaded 87. So it'll be a better car for him, hopefully a more reliable car for him. And so that got me to looking around thinking, okay, what do I want to buy? What do I want to replace it with? And at the time I had the WRX, and I thought I was just going to drive it as a daily driver. But it didn't really work out that well with my son, putting him in the back of the car seat and everything like that. So I just happened to be looking, and I don't even think I was specifically looking for a town car, although I like them. And I found this car. I found it in Merced. It was a one-owner car, 75,000 original miles, which is nothing for these cars. And they are the epitome of comfort and luxury. There's no doubt about that. Even though it's 16 years old, it is just such a nice car to drive. So when I got the car, it had some issues, some of which I've taken care of. Still a few things to take care of and do on the car, but it had some electronic issues. I'll show you guys in here. This door panel obviously been apart several times, and so the locks weren't working, the seats weren't working, the mirrors weren't working, that type of thing. And that was kind of a pain because the seat was like all the way back and reclined, and for me I needed to put pillows behind me just to be able to see and drive this car. I took it down to Jesse at Discount Tire. He was able to fix everything for me, got everything working the way it's supposed to. It now works great. Another issue was the driver's seat. The driver's seat, the seams were kind of coming apart in various areas, so I took it down to Arnold, my upholstery guy, and he took care of all that, made it all very nice. I did upgrade the sound system on the car, so now I have a touch screen, backup camera, subwoofer, and amp. I will probably be doing more to the stereo just because this car is so tight and so soundproof that when you close the car up, you really can't even hear the subwoofer. Even with it turned all the way up, it really doesn't make a lot of bass. And I like a little bit of bass when I'm listening to my stereo. So I will probably end up adding another subwoofer, maybe another amp, maybe a few more speakers, and make this very, very nice. I also plan to tint the windows. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do right now, is take this car over to the workshop, drop it off, so it can sit next to the Camaro. I wanted to tint the Camaro windows ever since I got it, and my tint guy's supposed to come tomorrow, so get all these windows tinted. I did end up replacing all 4 tires on the car. They were just kind of weathered and old, but yeah, other than that, it's a very nice car, very nice driving car. Like I said, 75,000 original miles. If you guys know these cars, these things do 250, 300 plus thousand miles, absolutely no issues. They got the 4.6 liter V8, not a lot of horsepower, not a lot of torque. I mean, it's enough. It cruises along just fine, but I mean, I think 0 to 60 is somewhere around like 8 or 9 seconds. It's not a fast car at all, definitely. So taking a walk around the car, I mean, it has the typical, you can kind of see the rough, the plastic stuff coming up, the fake faux chrome stuff coming up. I mean, that's just typical. I could have that replaced if I wanted to, but I probably won't. You can see the bumper has a few issues, so I'm going to have this front bumper and the rear painted. The paint is a little dull. I think it'll come out very nicely. I'm going to have my detail guy get over here and detail this car very, very nicely. And I think it'll look pretty good. And then, like I said, I want to do the rear bumper. I want to have the paint done because it's kind of fading here where it probably caught some sun, which is fairly obvious by the back license plate. And then I think it'll be good to go. I think this car is going to make for a really great driver. My plan is to keep it as my driver. I've always liked these big, luxury, long, huge, basically land yachts. They're very comfortable. I've had a couple of Cadillacs, Buicks, Oldsmobiles. I did have a Lincoln Mark 8 that Eddie now has, and I think this is going to be a great car, great family car, be a great car for my wife and I to go on a trip and just to really run around town, use it as my commuter and put some miles on it and enjoy Quite honestly, gas mileage wise, which is something I've never really worried about anyway, but this car will probably do just about as well as the Ford 500. The 500 never really did great considering it's a V6. I think I average around like 18 or 19, and what little bit of driving I've done with this one, I'm seeing to be averaging about the same. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let's go ahead and hop in it. Let's take it for a little drive. I'm gonna run it over to the workshop really quick, drop it off, and I'm gonna bring the Corvette back because the Corvette is actually sold. Talk a little bit about that here in a few minutes, and also give you guys a little update on the Camaro. It's not good news, unfortunately. I wish it was, but and then I'm gonna wrap up the video. You know, this car is definitely low miles. Like I said, it's got 75,475 miles on it. One owner car. I guess the guy's aunt had owned it from brand new, bought it brand new there in Merced from the dealership, and she drove it until she couldn't drive it anymore. Then he got it, but he never put it in his name. He had it for a while and then ended up selling it to me. I paid $4,500 for the car. I don't even know how much I'm into the car now with the stereo and everything like that. It's probably right around another $2,000. And by the time I tint the windows, add a little bit more to the stereo, do the paint work, the detail and everything like that, I'm easily going to be into it probably another couple $1,000s. So I'm definitely going to be upside down this car. There's no two ways about that. And quite honestly, I did consider, as I was doing things to this car, I did kind of consider getting something else, something with a little bit more cool factor. For example, I did go and look at a 95 Impala SS, which I think would be an awesome daily driver, but I'm going to end up spending more on that car. And then, like I said, I'm upside down this car. I'd be probably doing good just to get my money back at this point in time. So it doesn't make financial sense. That doesn't mean that I won't come up with something different and replace this. But man, driving this car, it's so comfortable. And I mean, right now we're on a nice smooth road, which is really the forte of this car. But it is just so incredibly comfortable. It floats. It's effortless to drive. It's got heated seats. It's got the automatic lights, which I love. The dual climate control. It's got the climate control in the rear. It's just a really nice car. This is a car I could go distances in, and I like that. So I think it's going to be a great daily driver once I get it all dialed in, get everything taken care of, and I'll kind of catch you guys up on the progress after tinting the windows and everything like that. But yeah, if you're looking for a nice cruiser car, you really can't beat one of these cars. They're great road cars. And I mean, that's about all it's got right there. I'm into it all the way, and I mean, we're at 55, so it's not bad. It'll get you out into traffic, it'll cruise, but it's not going to win any speed contests. And like I said, that's okay. That's okay. So let's head over to the workshop. Well, I should say we're almost at the workshop, and I will talk really quickly about the Corvette, and like I said, update you guys on the Camaro, and then I'm going to wrap up this video. So another cool feature these cars do have is adjustable pedals. You can see right there, that button will adjust it in and out, which makes it really nice because you can adjust your seating position so much more. You can adjust just about every angle that you want, get as far as close to the steering wheel as you want, still have your leg room. It really works out well, and I think Ford Lincoln is one of the very few vehicles that has that, and it's nice. It's very nice to have. Also, one thing I did have to do when I got this car is I had to get new key fobs. It did not come with any key fobs, and I have to have another key cut for that. So like I said, I'm into this car a little bit. I'm probably upside down. It's probably better off for me to keep it. We'll see. Okay, so over here in the dark workshop, so the Corvette is gonna go. It has been sold. I do have half the money right now in my account as we speak, and I will have the other half of the money very soon. Very nice guy down south, Culver City area. He bought it. He and I have communicated back and forth, and I sent him some videos and pictures and stuff like that. And so he's sending a shipper out. The shipper's supposed to be here tomorrow, although I haven't heard from the shipper per se. But I figure I'll just go ahead and take this car over, put it in the toy shop over there, and it'll be ready for whenever the shipper's ready to pick it up. So going to a good home. I'm very happy about this. The guy seems like a very nice guy, very straight up guy, and I've enjoyed talking with him. I hope he stays in contact with me and keeps me updated on the progress of this car, because I think he's going to take it to the next level. He's got some plans for it, and he's a pilot, so he's looking forward to taking it out to the airports where he works and parking it out there. He just thinks that'll be really cool, and I think that'll be cool too. The Camaro. As you can see, it is jacked up. It needed a starter that was going before. That was something I didn't mention. So Eddie has ordered another starter. He's going to replace that. And so replace the TPS, replace the injectors, replace the fuel filters with the exception of the one that's in the fuel tank, but I don't think that's the problem. Fuel pump seems to be working fine. Replace the ignition system, completely went through that. I probably spent close to $1,000 on this car trying to get it to run right, and it is failing. It's just such a letdown. And you know, it's a new motor. It's a fairly fresh build. It was built several years ago, but not a lot of miles on it. I'm frustrated. I'm very frustrated with the car. I'm just at the point now where I want to get away from this FI system and go back to carburation. Eddie says he's done some research. He's got a couple other ideas to try on this thing, but I got to tell you, I'm just done with it. I've talked to the guy I got this car off of. He had a carburetor on it before. He said it ran good. He still got the carburetor. I asked him if I could get it back. We're hopefully supposed to hook up in the next day or two, and I'm going to get that back. If not, if I've got to drive to Sanger to pick it up, or if I've got to, I don't know, spend $1,200-1,500 on a good carburetor for this car, I'll do it. I want to get this car right. There's still a couple things I want to do to it. I want to actually drive it and enjoy it because it is a badass car. And I mean, with that 572 big block and 620 horsepower under the hood, running through a turbo 400, 389 gears in the rear end, the car is going to be an absolute beast. It sounds like a beast. It runs like a beast. So I am really anxious to get this thing running and right. Then I may sell it. I don't know. My frustration level is up to here on this car right now. And sometimes that's hard for me to get past, even if we get it right. And that's the thing, is I don't want to sell it unless I get it right. And unless it's running properly and doing what it's supposed to do, I don't want to sell it. So I want to get it running properly, get it doing exactly what it's supposed to do, drive it a little bit and see. The feelings may subside and I may feel a little bit better about the car, or I may just say, you know what, too late, too much water under the bridge, and let it go and get something else, or just let it go and put the money in the bank. I don't know. But that remains to be seen. I will do a video on it if it ever is running correctly. I promise I will do a video on this car because it is such a nice car. It is such a nice build. I'm never really a big fan of orange cars unless it's the General Lee, but I've got to say this car really, the wheel and tires that I chose, I think are awesome. The interior that you really can't see is done up very, very nicely. Power seats, power windows, nice sound system. And like I said, that right there, that detailed 572 under the hood just looks so damn good. I just, you know, that is really the selling point for this car. So I hope I can get it right, and I hope I can like it again. I hope I can have good feelings, and we can come to some kind of agreement and have a good relationship. But right now, I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, I'm going to end the video now. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like and share. Subscribe if you haven't already. Venmo, P.O. Box, Instagram, all that stuff's going to be down in the description below. And as always, God bless, take care, have an absolutely amazing day. One final parting shot of the Corvette out here in the sunlight where it really shows so well. You know, even though I'm not a big fan of the C3 body style, I gotta say that is a nice looking car. It really, really is. I even like the yellow on it. It works.